Hello, and thank you for taking time to watch this video on the Blake Admissions Portal. My name is Joe Silvestri. I am Blake's Director of Admissions and Financial Assistance. I am joined here today by my colleague, Beth Pliego. Beth is Blake's Tour and Visit Coordinator. So I will spend just a minute introducing the portal to you and talking a bit about the admissions process, and then hand the ball off to Beth, who will take a much deeper dive into a couple elements that we think are really important: how to register for a tour, and how to actually access and manage the admissions process. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen to take a look at the admissions portal. Okay, here we go. So this is Blake's admissions portal. And I just want to make note that the admissions portal is not the Blake public website. The public website is terrific, includes, of course, a lot of great information about the Blake experience for students and families, the Blake program, and also good information about the admissions office and admissions process. Many families, we think, and probably know that they start their exploration of Blake through the public website. The Blake Admissions Portal is something we've set up specifically for families who are interested in Blake enrollment, either as an inquiry, someone who has just expressed an interest in learning more about the school, or as an applicant, someone who's actually started the application process. So that is really the difference. This Blake School Admissions Portal is what we think of as your one-stop shop to learn more about Blake in detail as an applicant or prospect, or to actually move through the admissions process. Before we go and explore the portal, I just want to step back and take a minute and spend a few minutes to talk about the admissions process in general and why we've set up the portal. Of course, the goal of Blake's admissions office is to help families learn more about the school and help us learn more about our applicants. As you will see, or as you know, if you're already an applicant, we do ask for lots of information about our prospective students. They either do testing or provide us with testing. We get teacher recommendations. We look at school records. If students are applying to middle or upper school, we actually sit and talk with our applicants. And the reason we have such a comprehensive admissions process and why we ask for so much information is to be confident that in the end, we can make sure we're only offering admission to students for whom Blake is a good fit. And the reason that we've established this portal is to do the same for parents, so that parents can learn as much as possible about Blake to make sure on their end that they feel like Blake and the Blake program is a good fit for their child and for their family. The reason, as I said, that the portal exists is to offer families lots of information about the school so that they can make a good decision about fit for their child. In the end, we feel like our goals are the same, that we're in this together with parents, that both parents and the school are going through the admission process with the same goal in mind. We want our students to thrive and be happy at Blake, and of course, parents want the same for their children. Okay, so let's take a look at the portal. I'll get my mouse here. Let's start in the upper right-hand corner. This is a place where you can read all the messages and invitations that we've sent you. I think you probably know that Blake does a great job of outreach to prospective families. You probably hear from us at least once a week with a newsletter or an email or an invitation. We know that you don't always have time to read those messages when they come through, so they're all stored here. So you can click on this button here and look at all the outreach and communication that's come from our office to you over the course of the admission season. Below that, important dates and deadlines that you want to pay attention to as you move through the admission process. And below that, really great contact information for all 7 members of the admissions office. You'll see for myself and for admissions coordinators, easy access to connect with us, either through our office phone number, our Blake cell phone number, our email address, or even with access to our own personal calendars so that you can schedule a call or a Zoom meeting with us. The portal is really is designed with in sections, meaning that the top part here is about the admissions process. And as I noted earlier, Beth will spend some time talking about both how to sign up for a campus tour and about moving through or starting the admissions process. This section here, it really offers more information for Blake families. And I want to point out a couple of things in particular. Some of this information is available on our public website, right? Life at Blake video series, registering for events, etc. But these two buttons here lead to information that we've made available specifically to applicant families and inquiry families. This section here are slide decks from presentations of our fall admissions events. So if you came to those events and want a second look at a slide deck, or want to look at a slide deck from a presentation that you weren't able to attend, click on that button and you'll see them all listed there. Here, we know this admission season, students and families are not able to sit in on Blake classes. We do that, of course, for health and safety reasons. So because of that situation, we have asked faculty in the middle and upper school to let us offer their back to school Loom presentations that they made for current parents and students in the fall. Great videos introducing themselves and their class to current teachers and parents. We've asked them to make them available to prospective families. So if you click on that button there, you'll see lots of great Loom videos, all maybe 5 or 6 minutes long, with a teacher introducing him or herself and explaining the curriculum to current parents. So really terrific information there. Below that, admission newsletters that go out once a week are listed here. So if you missed one or want to go back and read one, you can do that. And finally, this final section is our Blight Calendar. Prospective families certainly want to pay attention to this. Easy way, if you're on the portal, to sign up for admission events. Just click on a button here and you'll see an easy way to register for any upcoming event that's of interest to you. Okay, so I think that is all from me. As I noted, I'm going to hand the ball off to Beth, who's going to take some time and in detail talk about tours, signing up for tours, and the Blake admission process. All right, Beth, take it away.
Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now with all of you.
Yes, I will stop sharing that.
Okay, so I want to start by talking about, as Joe mentioned, these main two items that I'll be going over are starting and continuing the application process, as well as signing up for a campus tour. So if you're interested in coming to tour any of our Blake campuses, there are 3 physical locations you can choose from, and I will go ahead and click on this icon, show you what that looks like. You'll see a little further explanation about coming to see Blake. Below that are the different campus and grade level options that you can choose for your tour. We start with our upper school, which is also called the Northrop campus and is located on Kenwood Parkway in Minneapolis. Then you could also tour our middle school, which we call the Blake campus, located in Hopkins. We have 2 lower schools which serve grades pre-K to 5. One lower school is located in Hopkins, adjacent to the middle school facility. The other lower school is located in Wayzata. So as you're considering coming to take a tour, you want to think about which campus you're interested in, and of course you're welcome to tour more than one campus. So for instance, I will just click right here where it says upper school, show you what that looks like. Here you'll get a new pop-up screen and you can use the drop-down arrow. These are all of the upcoming dates and times that you can choose for your tour. And if you do not see anything listed here that works for your schedule, my contact information is to the left here, my phone number and email. So feel free to send me a message if you do not see a date and time of a tour that works for your schedule, and we can get something set up for a different date and time. But once you select the date and time that works, you'll go ahead and click register, and then we should be all set, and you will receive an email confirmation with further details regarding that tour. So I'm going to go ahead then and go back to the main portal page. One thing I'd also like to mention about tours is they are a really nice chance to see the facilities. They are a little bit different this year because of sometimes the students are in remote learning and or in different classroom pods. So we will be able to see the building, but we will not be able to go into the classrooms. Okay, and then going back to the admission portal homepage, there's a couple of different ways that you can give us more information about your student. There's the top navigation bar where it says candidates, or as Joe mentioned, start or continue the application process. So here are 3 students in my family that I have created. If you were coming to us for the very first time and wanting to request more information, you would click on this green button at the bottom of the page which says Begin a New Checklist. When you do that, you can add a new application or candidate. We call students or your children who are interested in Blake, we call them prospects or candidates. And so to do that, you'd click Begin a New Checklist. So my first student is what we would call an inquiry or an interested student, and that student is MS for middle school testing. Right here, it tells you how many tasks you need to complete. And as you can see, I have 0 of 4 required tasks complete for this student who's interested in Blake. So I am going to click in the middle box, View Checklist. So when I get into this, this page in the portal, the checklist is really the place that tells me what I need to do to get more information about Blake and to give Blake more information about my child and family. So the first 4 required tasks, all marked with the asterisk, are about sharing information about my family. So you can see for family information, there are these sections to the right: my household, parent employment, parent education, parent citizenship, and alumni relatives. So for any of those sections, you would click on the Edit button. And then this, for instance, shows my family and all of the members in my family. And if I agree that this is correct, I will just switch this to yes and mark complete. If there's a person in my family who's missing, I would click on the Add Candidate button. When I'm finished with this section, I click back to checklist, and then you go through and edit each of these different sections. Once all of the sections are complete, this flag on the top will switch from incomplete to complete, and the family information box will receive a check mark. The next couple of sections are questions for parents. I will go ahead and open that. This is just a section where we'd like to get to know more about you, your family, your children, and your interest in the Blake School. So we do ask that you go ahead and complete this section as well. And then at the bottom, you'll go ahead and submit that. The next section being current school information. We'd like to know where your child is at school currently, so you can go ahead and click into here. You can select from a list of schools that are already uploaded here, or you can enter a new school if your school is not included in the list and click on Add Current School. The last step in the transition from being an interested prospect at Blake to actually being an application is to submit the application fee. As you can see here, if you're interested in applying for financial assistance and an application fee waiver, please feel free to email Joe Silvestri, our director, and he can discuss that with you. If you're ready to go ahead and pay the application fee, you click on this button right here. You'll go into this screen where you can make a payment. I'm just going to go back out of that. So once you've completed these 4 steps, you will be switched from what we call it, as I mentioned before, someone who's interested in Blake, an inquiry, into the status that we call application. When these 4 steps are completed, then you will receive a new checklist of items that show everything that's required for your application process. So I will go back into my candidates, which is the other members of my family. I have 2 students that I've already completed those first 4 steps for. One right here is US, which stands for Upper School Last Name Testing. My child is interested in 9th grade in the school year 21-22. And as you can see, I have 4 of 16 required tasks complete. The other student who I'm interested in Blake for is called LS, which stands for Lower School Testing, applying for 5th grade in the 21-22 school year. And I have 4 of 9 required tasks complete. So you can see the number of required tasks varies on the grade level that you plan to apply for. So I will go into the checklist right here for my lower school applicant, and I'll walk through these checklist items with you so you have an idea of what you need to complete. So our applications for grades pre-K to 5 are fairly similar. There's just a few slight differences that I'll mention as I explain these different steps. But as you can see, the first 4 required items are already complete. And then the next step is that we just love to know more about your student. So if you click on this item on your left called Applicant Interests, and then click here where it says Add Applicant Interests, you can go ahead and let us know what subjects, sports, or extracurriculars your child is interested in. That's not required, but again, we just love to know more about your student. The bottom section shows all, with the asterisk again, shows all of the items that are required to complete an application in grades pre-K to 5. So I will just go through those briefly one by one. The first one is uploading an applicant photo. You can do that right here on the Upload New Photo button. The next step is a required step for all applicants in grades pre-K to 5, and that is the applicant screening and parent meeting. During that time, we use that as a way to get to know your child better as a learner, and for you to come in and meet with us and ask us any questions about Blake as a learning community, and for us to get to know your family a little bit better. So to sign up for that in-person appointment, you'll click on the button that says sign up. You'll see a calendar listed here. The calendar has blue dots on any days where we have available screening appointments. These appointments last for about an hour and a half. So I will select Tuesday, January 12th, and on the right, it opens up the different slots that I have available, and I can choose from those options. If I decide neither of those times works for me, I might check and see what's available on January 19th. I'm going to select the 9 a.m. slot, and then I click on the Submit button. What you'll see here is a note that says your time has not been confirmed. This process takes place overnight, so you can expect that if you logged in to your Veracross account the next day, you will see that this appointment has been confirmed. But up until the overnight confirmation process, you can certainly reschedule the appointment. If you've already scheduled the appointment and you realize at a later date and time that that won't work for you, we do ask that you give us a call and we'll help you reschedule the appointment. The next step is applicant citizenship. So if you could please click the plus sign to add that. And then I just want to talk a bit about teacher recommendations. Our students applying in grades pre-K and K may have a classroom setting or a childcare program with a teacher that can fill out a teacher recommendation for them. And if that's the case, we do ask that you do so. We also understand, though, at this time that certain younger children may not be in a childcare setting. And if that's the case for your child, we would like you to just let us know. We are able to mark this item as complete, even without a teacher recommendation for our pre-K and K applicants, if it is the case that they do not have a teacher at this time. This, again, is also required for grades 1 through 5. What you want to do, and for grades 1 through 5, it does need to be a current teacher, even if you're in a remote learning environment. We do ask that you ask the child's current teacher to complete this recommendation. So you click on the button that says Send Recommendation Request. You'll type in the recommender's name and their email address, and you'll hit Send Request. What's great about this is they'll receive an automatic notification. They'll be able to complete the recommendation and submit it online. And once we receive that recommendation back, this flag that says incomplete will be updated to complete. One thing that's important to note about this teacher recommendation request is if you happen to mistype an email or send the recommendation request to a teacher who isn't able to complete the request and you need to update this and send it to a different teacher, you'll need to let us know. You're not able to cancel the recommendation request email. That's something that we would have to help you to do. So again, if you need to cancel this for any reason, please let one of us in the admissions office know and we can assist with that. The additional teacher recommendation button is optional, and I'll scroll back so that you can see that up here on the checklist. Right here where it says additional teacher recommendation, that is an optional item. So you can certainly, if you have a classroom teacher that your child has had in a previous year and you feel that this is a little bit more applicable to grades 1 through 5. But again, if you have a teacher that you feel like might know your child a little bit better, then you're certainly welcome to have a second teacher recommendation submitted. And the final step, and this again is for grades pre-K through 5, in grade pre-K or K, your school or childcare setting may or may not have any school records available, and we certainly understand that. If they do, we ask that you click on the link to download the permission to release school records form and submit it to the childcare center so that they can send us any school records. This is also required for grades 1 through 5. I'll go ahead and click on that link so you can see what that looks like. Here's the permission to release school records form. You can certainly email that, mail that, or hand deliver it to your current school, whatever works best for you. And then they will send the school records or transcripts to us. Once we receive those and upload the transcripts, we will change this incomplete checklist item to complete. So as you can see on the left, these are the required checklist items for our grades pre-K to 5 applicants. I'm going to go now back into My Candidates. And we're going to take a look at all of our applications for grades 6 through 12. So I have my student, upper school testing, applying to 9th grade, and I will go into that checklist. There are many similarities in the grades 6 through 12 applicant checklist with just a couple of differences. So as I mentioned before, I'll let you know what those differences are as we look through each checklist item. Again, we'd want to start by getting to know more about your child. So if you could please fill out this item on your left called Applicant Interests. This is not required, but again, we'd love to know more. So if you could go ahead and click into that and let us know what your students' interests are, we would appreciate that. And then the bottom left side shows all of our required checklist items. So I'll go through those one at a time and add any more information that you might need. The applicant photo upload, if you could please upload a photo of your child, we would love to have that. The next item is questions for applicants, and the following item is a writing sample. It's important to note that these two required items are only required for applicants in grades 9 through 12. So if you're applying for a student in the middle school in grades 6 through 8, these two items will not appear on your checklist. But the questions for applicants, I will go ahead and show you. It's just so that we can really know more about your child. So we do ask that your student actually completes this section of the application. When your child has finished filling this in, you can hit submit. And then the next section being a writing sample. We do ask that the writing sample is something that they've written this year. It can be graded or ungraded and then less than 2 pages in length. And you can click on Browse Files to go ahead and attach a writing sample that you have saved on your desktop. If you have a writing sample and you're not able to attach it or upload it, you could certainly send it to us and we can attach it for you. Next, we'd like to ask your child's citizenship. So you just click into this button of Add Applicant Citizenship. A really important step of the grades 6 through 12 application process is an applicant and guardian meeting. During this meeting, which is conducted over Zoom, either one parent or guardian and the applicant will meet with our middle school admissions coordinator and our upper school admissions coordinator, Adriana Matsky, to sign up for that appointment. You would click on the sign up link here. The dates that have available appointments are the ones with the blue dots. So I'm going to go ahead and click right now on December 29th, and any openings are open to the right. I'm going to say that I want the 11 to 11:30 slot. I'll go ahead and click there and go ahead and click submit. And then again, this will be confirmed by the admissions office. Once it is confirmed, you will receive an email with a Zoom invitation so that you can get that onto your calendar. And then that will be a nice opportunity for us to get to know more about your family. The next section is teacher recommendations. For all applicants in grades 6 through 12, we do ask for 3 teacher recommendations. One of them needs to be from a current teacher. We ask for an English teacher recommendation, a math teacher recommendation. Our third recommendation letter can be from a teacher that their child has had in a previous school year, or it can be from another adult in the community who knows them really well, something such as a coach. So to send those recommendation requests, you click on the button that says Send Recommendation Request. You'll type in the recommender's name and email address and hit Send Request. Once they've completed the recommendation, we will receive it back, and this checklist item will switch from incomplete at the top to complete. If you happen to make a mistake in typing an email address or a recommender isn't able to complete the recommendation and you need to send it to someone else, we ask that you let us know because we will have to help you with updating that to get that recommendation sent to someone different. So again, it is a requirement to have 3 teacher recommendations for applicants in grades 6 through 12. The next step is uploading standardized test scores. We aren't able to administer the SSAT this year, which is our normal entrance testing. So instead of that, we will accept the tests listed here. We also will accept state standardized testing. If you have a copy of those available, you can certainly go ahead and click on Browse Files and attach that here. You could also send those to us directly attached to an email. The other step is that when you're requesting school records or transcripts, often any state standardized testing will be included with those transcripts. And if we do receive them that way, we are able to mark this checklist item complete for you. So either you can upload test scores or we can upload them. And then the final step on the grade 6 through 12 application is submitting school records or transcripts. You would click on the link here to download the permission to release school records form. It looks like this. You can get this sent to your child's current school via email or regular mail, or dropping it off, whatever you prefer. Once they receive the form, the school will send any records or transcripts directly to us. We will go ahead and attach those to your student's record, and this checklist item will switch from incomplete to complete. So again, I'll just go up to show you on the left side of the page. These items marked with an asterisk are all the required items for an application in grades 6 through 12. I just want to point out the exception being the questions for applicants and the writing sample, which are questions that we ask only for applicants in grades 9 through 12. So those are the main points to explain about the checklist and how that works as far as the application process for the Blake School. I would like to go at this time back, and you can always do this yourselves too. Just go back to the home button in the admissions portal. Just want to point out too that again, all of our contact information is on the right side of the page. So if you have specific questions about applying for grades pre-K and K, we encourage you to reach out to Admissions Coordinator Laura Mark. Any questions about applying for grades 1 through 5, Lynn Lowe would be a great contact for you. And Adriana Matsky is our admissions coordinator for anyone applying in grades 6 through 12. But please know that any of us listed here are happy to answer any questions anytime via email or phone. And we thank you for your interest in Blake.